Welcome back to X4, and I did want to cover this episode, just a quick thing about the start I did last episode. We did a restart, if you remember, just to see how well the war actually kicks off when you're in version 1.5, when you first start the game, because remember my previous saves were starting in version 1.0. And it's looking promising so far, but before I actually get to that and get into the game, I just wanted to cover the new game starts. So I started with this unworthy entrepreneur. Now, I thought this came in 1.5, but it turns out, no, it didn't. It turns out this is hidden by default, so you may not see this in your game. To get someone commenting last episode, they couldn't see it. And as far as I'm able to find, doing a bit of research, it only appears once you've done a player HQ quest. So I'm not sure whether that's once you've done all the research or whether you, as soon as it appears, as soon as you get it out of the hidden area of space, you'll get this started. Either way, you do need to get through that quest. And remember, to do that, you just need to get a scanning mission of some kind that will send you to a station to go and scan for leaks or scan for data repairs or something like that. And you will find, as you're actually going over the station with the scanning mode, the Shift 2 mode, you'll be able to pick up the communications from that talkative boron. And of course, that start gives you this station. Well, apart from these two modules that are just being built now, it gives you this station. So it's not a huge station, to be fair to it. There's just some storage, there's some flour production, and you get 200,000 credits. Unfortunately, you need to give some most of that to your station manager. However, you know, it is there, so we may as well use it. And of course, last episode I started building an addition to our station. So if you just go into our station plan build, you will see, and it's got 20 seconds left, there is the two venture platform, well, a venture platform and the venture send-off dock. So we may as well see if there is any ventures we can actually send one of our ships off on. That's only got 5 seconds to go. So I went and bought a Mercury Vanguard, and that's on its way in. There it is, right there. It's just a trading ship, and I don't know which kind of ships are available for this ventures. We're currently in a small ship. That's the one you start with, the Discoverer. We will, of course, want to move to a medium ship very soon. We've already done that previously in the previous run-through from version 1.0, so we'll get to that. So either a ship like that, or a trading ship, or even a miner, maybe. It depends on what ventures we get offered once this is done. And it's now done, so we'll just go to the Mercury, and then zoom in on the station, right click, and then say venture from the venture platform 1. So that trading ship, which should be on its way in from over there somewhere, I would have thought. Don't see it at the moment, but from over there somewhere, unless I'm upside down, will be coming in and docking right there in that section. Now, we don't have the ability to teleport yet because we don't really have the player HQ. Not that I'm too enthused with it with the player HQ overall. I mean, once you've got the research unlocked, it's straightforward. So I will do that at some point soon, but I'm not worried about it just now. We do, however, have a docking computer, Mark II, so this will let us dock really quite easily.
Successfully docked.
And we're going to get up while our Captain Horasumas Tisois Deridos the Ninth dares to his friends. Yeah. Okay, and let's get off on our station and see if we can get to the venture platform. We can. Good. Alright, and here's our window. Our ship hasn't arrived yet, so can we actually do anything until the ship does arrive? No ship's docked. Okay, let's wait for that to arrive. And here it is. It's lowering itself into position. Now, from what I've heard, you're supposed to not be able to lose ships in this feature while it's in the beta. However, people are losing ships. Let's just put it that way. So when you actually use this, to be aware that anything you put in there, you may not get back. You might get some rewards, you might not. So, let's take a look. Yep, we have the ship ready in selected branch. There we go. And we have a multiverse voyage, a recommended ship type, any ship. So we should be okay, I guess. And the rewards is a paint modification of enhanced quality and some credits and a success chance of high. All right, so why don't we just say start? Ooh. I'm thinking of the what's the movie? Contact. What's Contact? Jodie Foster? Yeah. If that just reappears again with only 8 seconds, or however long it is she's gone for while she's having a word with aliens, that would be cool. But this ship is on its way to one of you guys, presumably. Does look like a pretty good effect. Not sure how well how long I'm going to need to see that effect, mind you. But is it going to disappear? It probably should. It only says 2 minutes as well. So this first one is going to be... Oh, it says in progress. So it's still shown here while it's in progress? Quite odd. Let's skip forward and see if that actually gives it... It's probably just going to be the tutorial mission. The rest should be actually much longer than 2 minutes, I think, as far as these voyages are concerned. Let's wait for it to finish, and once it's finished, we'll come back and see what we got. And there we go. This ship is back, and the platform's resetting. Cool effect. So if we go pop in here, let's see what we get now. What option do we get? Well, it still gives me the same, but we now have one that is completed in here. It's still only offering us the same, 2-minute thing. Let's see what happens once we get the results. Okay, so we got 10,000. That's the minimum reward, and 2 rising star mods. Okay, and we can send it off again. It'll get the same amount. Interesting. Let's start that up. And perhaps next time we'll get different results. It may also be possible that we'll get different missions if we put different types of ships in there. However, I'll leave that alone for a couple of minutes and let's see if we get offered a different mission or if it is just stuck on that one for now. Okay, and it came back. So let's see what we got for that second reward. Just grab my microphone for a second. See what we got for that second reward. So here it is, venture completed. Let's click see results. So nearly the maximum amount of credits, nearly 19,000. 20,000 is the maximum, and two more of those rising star mods. Okay, we'll have to look what they do at some point. However, now we get given other options, and we're now being asked for fighters or couriers. Now, I'm not sure if courier means extraordinarily fast or just something that can carry goods. Because it says 2 to 15 inventory items, so not very much. But for credits, we do get 180k to 700k. However, it will take 2 hours. I'm willing to guarantee that Intelligent Life will always trade, whether or not we load up a transporter here and send it across a different universe to tell its wares. So, okay. Maybe we can just send the current one. It's 500,000 credits anyway for what we've paid, and we're going to get that more than that from mining, so I'm not too concerned. And I will find out in your behalf whether courier actually means a trading ship or whether it actually just means a really fast ship. So why don't we send it over there, and success chance is low apparently. How about here? Low. Will we lose the ship if we do that? Let's send it. Okay, and now of course I will not get back to that today, unfortunately, because it's going to be waiting 2 hours. But if you've had any particular luck, because obviously I've been playing on a modded playthrough until now, so I haven't had much chance to research into this side of things, please do let other people know in the comments what kind of luck you've had with the online ventures. In particular, couriers, any particular ships that give you a high chance or basically 100% chance of success, let me know. More than happy to hear it. Now, in the meantime, we should also extend this station we got started with. Let's just get back to the dock. In fact, I don't even need to go there. I can just press Shift D. There we go. And let's take over from Des.
Greetings.
Bye, Des. He's not as good as Ace. He's okay. He's not as good as Ace. Okay, and while we're here, then let's just undock. And there's the massive bulk of our sort of sunflower production plant in front of us, or sunrise flowers, or whatever they're called. And let's just get out of here for a second.
Your words do not impress me.
And let's just come to full stop. Okay, so we've got... Now let's take a look at our credit score. Credit amount. 8 million credits. Fair enough. Whilst 3 drills are still going, and that will still work until they run out of the Nvidium. However, we can then use this for whatever we like. So we can expand this sunrise flower production just to match really the sort of same kind of station we had in the previous playthrough. And because we're already making sunrise flowers, we know we can head towards making the food side of things for the Taladi. And we can also potentially make our own energy cells. So if we're going to plan build, I'm going to go and buy them if I remember rightly, or go and scan them. Yeah, we don't have very much available at all. So I'm going to go and do some scanning. Now, in our first start that we did, I encourage you to start with missions of around 150, 180,000, repair missions, stuff like that. In this start, we're going to skip that. We want more money. We want more money as quickly as we possibly can to get ahead of wherever the Xenon are going, and the Scale Pact and everyone else. So, as you may imagine, we do actually need to use missions, but we're going to have to use station missions and not necessarily other types. Station missions, once you start getting them, will get you between 6 and 8 million or thereabouts for completing them. And the first mission you're going to do will probably cost you about 2.5 million. So in my case, it's going to get me about 6 million back. So that should mean about a 4 million profit for not very much work at all. I could get about 6 million again on that first run. The second run, however, the second mission, you're only going to need to spend, instead of 2.5 million, probably about 1.5 or even 1. The reason for that is at the start of the game, you do not get the right modules, or at least not in this start. The modules that you're going to need are things like container storage modules. The medium container storage has 100,000 capacity. The small one only has 25,000 capacity, and generally these missions are going to ask for at least 30,000 capacity, so you're going to want the medium. The medium also happens to have 4 mounting points, which means you can have a maximum of 8 turrets on that, and that's one of the other things that these missions are going to ask for. So if you're going to buy something, go to somewhere like Argon Prime, go to the wharf to see the Argon representative, and you should find that you're able to purchase medium container storage, and that's going to cost 600 grand or so. So that's your investment into the first mission you do. Then what I want you to do is go and fly around the ring road, the ring highway. As you fly around, and when your miners continue to mine, you're going to start getting reputation, and you should leave yourself on it and watch the mission offers screen. Not the guild ones, just the regular ones. And eventually you'll get ones, the 1 and 2 million ones you ignore, you'll get ones above 5 or 6 million. And I accepted one. Mine happens to be this one, 5.8 million. And in my case, if we look at the briefing, it's saying we're going to need a plot size of 3x2x5, 5 turrets, and container storage capacity of 30,000. I went and bought both the small and medium container storages just in case we get any small missions. I wouldn't recommend that you do that. Just get the medium. You'll see why in a second. It's more cost effective to build just 1 medium instead of 2 small. I'll show you that as well. So we're coming up on this, and it's saying fly to Silent Witness 1. Fine, no problem. And we're already here. So what's the mission status at the moment? Probably going to be claim plot, isn't it? There we go. So all stop. And claiming a plot. So let's go into manage plots, and you'll see that right there is where we need to place things. So again, easiest way to do this is just to decrease the minus direction all the way to 0, and increase x3, y2, which is already there, and z5. And it will even itself out once you click create new plot. And we're going to drop it right over where it wants us to. You'll see it's evened out now. So it's still 3, 2, and 5. It's just, it saves you having to manipulate more than one slider. And that's going to be in the right position. So I'm going to buy the license. And that is pretty much that done. So if I go out now, we get to the stage where it says build factory. Don't build anything before this stage. I spent a couple of hours last night getting these episodes slightly out of sequence because it wouldn't complete. No matter what I did, because I went through all of the steps too soon before each of these station sort of prompts appear. So, for example, I was starting to build stuff before I'd even flown through the actual area, cause some all kinds of issues. So fly through the area. When it says claim plot, claim the plot. And then when you get onto build factory, then you can go ahead. All right, so from the build factory stage, we're going to go over here, and you see Silent Witness 1 factory, which is right next to us. And then we're going to plan the build. Oh, was that something else that just popped up on my screen? Oh, just trading. Fine, no problem. Fine, Silent Witness 1. And if let's just look at that mission again, just double check. 3x255, 5 turrets, 30,000 grand. Fine. And we're going to plan build. So, by default, you will not have these two. You can get them for free if you go through scanning for data leaks. I would suggest don't do that. We got a good start with, crystals. We got into a few million, and that more than pays for buying these blueprints. So I just went and bought them. So the medium one, if we were going to buy it, cost about 600 grand for the blueprint. Let me just actually get rid of this for a second. We're going to put the dock down first. There we go. We want the basic dock. Don't even worry about anything more expensive than that. And from that, you're going to want these container storages. Now, this is the small one from Argon. This is the medium one from Argon. And this, because this is a Taladi start, is the small from Taladi. Now, you may ask, well, if that's already... Well, this one is already given to you at the start, by the way. Now, if you may ask, why didn't I just use this one? The reason is the Taladi start requires an upper docking node, connection node here, to attach to. And the other modules that you actually start with don't have a bottom node for this to attach to the top. Yes, without putting other unnecessary modules in play. And we don't want to actually do that. We want to be quite efficient. So, medium Argon, it is. Dock, medium Argon, and let's take a look at what it actually wants us to actually purchase this. So, its estimated price to buy all resources is 930,000. Give it about 1.2 or something like that, and we're going to confirm it. We're then going to click on Assign a Builder, and let's see if we can actually find one. Where are you? You're in Argon Prime. That's not too far away from Silent Witness, so we'll select you. And that is pretty much job done. Now, at this point, it's going to ask for turrets. But it always has problems building turrets in these. So what I'm going to try for this case is not to actually do that. I'm just going to get it to build it as is. Once it's finished, then I will then edit it to add the turrets in and get the builder to come back if it needs to actually finish it off. That should mean that everything will complete. But if it doesn't, it doesn't, and we'll rejig it until it does. However, so we'll click the confirm button for the funds, and now we can click confirm. And pretty much now we just have to wait. If we just go back in, and it's always worthwhile doing this just in case you've forgotten something, if you go back then and take a look at resources needed and resources available, you'll see it started to buy stuff. It started to reserve stuff with traders. So the traders are already bringing in the Claytronics and the hull parts, and that just leaves energy cells to actually bring in. If you wanted to, if you had a spare trader, they're only going to cost $500,000 at the stage you can afford them. You can go and buy a trader, go to any station that sells energy cells, and then you could load up your trader and then right click on, I think it's the station or the builder, I can never remember which way around it is. Right click, transfer words with, and then choose build storage. And then you can transfer in exactly 264 energy cells and speed this up yourself. However, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to leave it to actually work its magic itself. And these traders are not going to be too far away anyway. The builder should come in as well to actually start construction of this as we go on. So let's just leave. And that spot should start building in front of us as we actually go forward. And one other thing I may not have mentioned explicitly, but if you get 2 of the small containers, That'll add up to about 50,000 storage. One of the medium will add up to 1,000. Well, one of the medium will be 100,000. So obviously better there. But also 2 of the small containers cost more than 1 of the medium. So there's never really any use for small containers unless you need less than 25,000 storage, in which case it's better just to go for one of those. So while we're waiting for materials to come in here, I do want to talk a little bit about what we're going to use these factories for, because as you've seen in earlier episodes, or hopefully you have, unfortunately these get given to you. And that may sound like a good thing, except that they're not always in the best place, so we should really think about what we're going to use them for. You can't get rid of them, at least not without blowing them up. So for these, given that the war will probably kick off now that we started in 1.5, we're going to want to start supply. Now, we have shipyards coming in January, so in this case, we might want to use this, for example, for energy cells, for things like engine parts, I want to say. Engine parts, I think, come from antimatter components. Let me see, do I have a diagram around? I thought I might have somewhere. Let me just see. Yes, I do, on my other screen. So yes, engine parts come from antimatter cells, and they also come from refined metals or palladianium. And depending, and those are equivalent things. Palladianium comes from the talladi. Refined metals comes from other places like argon, but they're both counted. They both work just fine. And they'll both combine to make engine parts. And those 2 pre-requirements come from hydrogen or come from ore. And those are base materials. You just get them from your miners. So you can just assign miners, like a hydrogen miner, to your station and an ore miner to your station, and they'll happily keep your station supplied. Engine parts you can then take and make other things with, such as drone components. And there's a whole range of different things for that, and I will, see if I can remember correctly, I'll put the link to the tech production flowchart. A slightly different one than I posted the last time I discussed this, but a slightly more easy to understand version. And you can take a look at it yourself and come back to me if you've got any questions. And our station is now complete. Now, this is the point at which a lot of people have problems. If you go into your station and click plan build, when you're assigning turrets, so if you go to edit loadout, you'll see you get these, sometimes you get these problems with the turrets appearing as, you know, not there and stuff like that. Best way I found doing this is, first of all, make sure you're in another sector so you don't have any issues from being in the same sector. Apparently there was a bug when you're in the same sector. Second of all, you can basically go in here and add the turrets. And as long as you've got a builder vessel there, that may work. If it doesn't, right click and remove this entire module, okay, with the builder still assigned. Wait for it to completely delete and then add it again with the turrets included. And that's what I literally just did, and that worked first time. The other thing I can suggest is pretty much the same thing, is that if you have problems with that, just move the module to somewhere else on the station, and it should destroy, rebuild, and they should be picked up. However, for me, that's now worked. So, well, excuse me. So if you have a look on here, 17 million, our mission's gone. And we're nearly at 20 million. We've got another million due from trades, and this is the second episode of the restart. So please definitely do these station missions. Figure out just by process of elimination what works for you. There are still a few bugs with them in 1.5, but they are well worth the effort. And now that we got that mission done, we can go and have a look and see how much the blueprints cost to actually expand that station. Of course, remember, we want the antimatter parts, we want the refined metals, and antimatter cells, refined metals, or palladianium. It will be palladianium because we're in an argon station at the moment. Let's just go to the representative office, and then of course we want the engine parts themselves. So let's go and see how much these cost.
Greetings.
There we go. And can we actually buy them yet? So antimatter cell production is 500,000. Fair enough. Engine part production is 2.8 million. Quite a bit more, but doable. And refined metal production is 266 million. So that's by far the cheapest. You'll see obviously my balance is currently sitting just under 18 million. It will go over 18 million as soon as the trades come in. for various miners, so we can easily afford that, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to buy the engine parts, I'm going to buy the antimatter cells, and I'm going to buy the refined metals. 3.6 million down the drain. And yes, you can, if you have the patience, go and scan for them. Get them for free, by far. However, you are then chancing how easy or how hard it is, or how often you find those things. So you will have a much less playtime needed if you just buy them. Your choice entirely, however. Now, in order to complete that, of course, we will need to go and find a manager for the station. We can just send this guy over there just by landing on the station and assigning him from here. We can just talk to him. And the other thing we'll need is just to start fitting those modules and pay for them. But I will do that next episode, and when we'll get started with more profit generating, well, missions. Alright, so I've enjoyed today's episode. Got that first station up and running, or at least the first station other than the original one we're given. So we're now up to 2 stations, and we're up to nearly 20 million credits. Well, 15 million now, but we were up to nearly 20 million. And in the second episode of a restart. Very happy with that progress, and we want to continue towards that. I think I want to sort of focus my stations, or at least we'll start off with this first station, into thinking about heading towards ships, because ships are going to be the big update in January-ish, and you know, we'll want to be able to make them ourselves. Particularly, we want to make miners and traders, and of course fighters. And I've been doing the online ventures. I did complete one online venture, the one for courier. The trade ship worked fine, and I got around 200,000 credits for it. So it will pop up from time to time. You can just restart it again. It will give you 200,000 credits every time it goes through. It's up to you whether you consider that important or useful. More importantly, it does also give you the chance at exceptional modules and other stuff like that that you may well want to improve your ships with. So have a good go at it, if you're not modded, of course, if you're not modded playthrough, and let me know in the comments below, depending on how well you succeed. So if you like the episode, give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, we'll see you next episode for some more X4. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, or indeed you can get notifications either by clicking the bell down below or follow me on Twitter at GreyDuster and get notifications that way, whichever you like. Of course, if you've got any more suggestions for other people, feel free to put them in the comments below, and of course check out the other games that are on the channel at the moment, including the Factorio playthrough, Vanilla-ish Factorio, and some Graveyard Keeper, and a little bit of modded Minecraft. Otherwise, as always guys, thanks for watching.